Hey everyone, it's Ride 1940 here. Today we're taking a look at Sea Power Naval Combat in the Missile Age, and this is with some new Japanese units that we have for the game now. And iBlank has made this mission called Exercise Neptune's Revenge. Alright, inbound attack area. This is why I like iBlank's missions. He's got these pop-ups, and they're all kind of in a realistic manner, and the wording is how they basically would chat. Commander, we've visual inbound attack air believed to be USSR. Reminder that we are de-escalatory with the USSR at the moment. Proceed towards the exercise area. All hands stand easy. What do we got here? Alright, we got the infamous MiG-28 from Top Gun. Yeah, nice. No one's ever got this close before, right? So, this kind of stuff does happen in real life. You know, jets from other countries will fly past you. Oh, it looks like a visual bug or something. And normally what's going to happen is these, the ship's crew, I mean, at least in the US they have this thing called Snoopy Team, and they'll send you outside to go take pictures and cameras, camera footage of the incident, and then people can kind of get intelligence from that, or if it's really inflammatory, they might release it to the news so that the public can see what's going on. And yeah, so what the bridge is interested in looking for is probably like the weapons and stuff that are hanging off this guy, because that's what I'm interested in. Does this guy have bombs? No, he's just got some IR guided missiles, so we don't have to worry about him bombing the ship. Combat bridge. Oh yeah, exactly. So message here: combat bridge, 2 USSR fighters detected visually, wings dirty, appear to be an air-to-air loadout. So this is basically the bridge with their watch senders looking outside with binos and stuff, and they see that the weapons on board are just air-to-air, and they're passing that to combat over the net, and combat's saying combat eye. Holy cow, these guys are getting really close, man. Whoa, they went between. That's pretty gnarly. I've told the story before, but one time an Iranian P3 buzzed us so low that I was for sure thinking they were going to smack the mast if they had gone over midships. But it's a common incident for aircraft and ships to have situations like this develop overseas. Alright, so we've got Black Hat. I think in our briefing it said to be at MCON for the SAU, but for the aircraft I'm just going to have them come on. And already we've got some contacts here. We're going to have to figure out what's what. Okay, this is the SAG apparently for the Soviets, and let's zoom out. Okay, just got a Tu-95 RT, not a big deal. We'll go ahead and go down to 200 feet. We'll return the favor and do a really in-close flyby. So in the real world, I like this mission in particular. I think it's really neat because he's got it set up. Basically, it's an exercise, and we've got to sink the Arashio, which is an SAU class submarine, and that's the older version. And then there's a newer prototype sub, the Ushio, which is the Ushio class of submarines, which is more capable. And we're just basically going to see how the two compare to each other. And right now the weather's not so bad, but I think the weather's going to take a turn, and we'll see how that affects the sonar performance. In fact, this would probably be a great demonstration of when active sonar should be used and when passive sonar should be used. But yeah, with the exercise area, if you can imagine in the United States, for instance, there's military operating areas. So there's aeronautical charts that label that, and there's there are rules for entering those airspaces. So you need to be able to talk to certain people and get express permission in some cases to enter those areas, and sometimes they'll just say no, you can't. In the open ocean, though, I mean, international waters, you can't dictate that a ship can't be somewhere, right? Because there's freedom of navigation. So what they often do is they'll put out a broadcast, and it's kind of like the NOTAMs for aviation. They have a similar thing for the nautical world. So they'll put out, all countries will do this. They'll say, like, they'll draw a grid with lat and long coordinates, and they'll say, this time frame, this is closed because of a missile test or something. Like they're going to fire a BMD or a ballistic missile, and the warhead's going to strike that area somewhere, so don't go in there. For extra safety precautions, oftentimes you'll have like range safety aircraft come flying through the area to make sure no one's in it, because you don't want to accidentally kill some fisherman that just wasn't paying attention to the notices. So they'll have range safety aircraft come in, or they'll have vessels nearby kind of warning everybody to stay out. And so we'll just go warn the Soviets here that they need to stay out of this area. Alright. This update is pretty cool. I'm glad to see that we've got the P2s in the game now. I want to see more ASW aircraft. Like if we got... I don't know why this guy increases his altitude after the waypoint is reached. Yeah, I want to see S2s in the game. That'd be really neat, and see them operate from the carrier. What else is there? The French have those Atlantique aircraft, which are really cool. We got to work with one time. Not for ASW, basically. They found it was one of the worst things that I remember being in the Navy that I came across, and it was, I think, my first deployment. So to me, it was like, wow, this is how the real world is. This is terrible. And let's get information. Okay, yeah. So these are the Soviets. We'll go buzz them. Yeah, we were in the Gulf of... No, we were in the Red Sea, actually. And we were... I remember it was a Sunday, because I was down in like one of the sonar spaces on the DG, so I think it was Sonar 3, and that's basically where we played on our laptops and stuff. And we used to play... I think it was the original Hearts of Iron, and it had this mod for... what was it? It was like the modern day mod or something. But we found a way to hook up with LAN, and basically all of us play each other in different countries. And it was basically one of the things we do on the weekends, or not the weekends, Sundays. Sunday on the ship is holiday routine generally, and so you just stand watch, and the rest of the day is off. Anyways, so I'm down there, and then they come across on the 1MC, the big voice in the sky, and it says, "Oh, we got to go to this area because a patrol plane found what looks to be an air disaster, so we need to go help the people. There's like bodies and stuff around." And so they were only, I don't know, like 20-30 miles from us, so we go racing over there full speed. And I was a part of the security team, so they gave me... Let's drop some chaff and flare. Oh. That looks really neat. Warn those guys, stay out of our range, please. Yeah, so they gave us... Well, they gave me, because I was on the security team, like pepper spray and like a baton and stuff, and they said, we don't know what's going on, but if you'll be up on the gun mount while we approach, just to make sure everything's safe, because sometimes you don't know if it's like a trap, right? If there's somebody set up a scenario basically to have you roll in, knowing that you would roll in so they could ambush you. So we were just kind of on alert, but at the same time we were all like, we want to help people, right? And the patrol plane, I think, left after that, and we showed up, and it wasn't an air disaster. It was this poor, like, overloaded tugboat, because basically back then there were people trying to escape Somalia, and they would go to Yemen, because back then Yemen had a big UN camp, and they were accepting anybody that crossed the Red Sea. If you made it there, you would be put in the UN camp and get some aid. So people would make this journey, and it typically lasted like a day or two or something. It was like a day trip, I think. So they overloaded this boat, and then the boat died. And unfortunately, they didn't bring any food or drink with them, because they just always did this trip in one day. So it wasn't necessary to bring supplies with them. And unfortunately, when their boat died, they were set adrift for like 3 to 5 days, and people were passing away from that. And it was brutally hot. Like, it was like 120 degrees outside. And these people, when people were passing away, were just dumping them out in the ocean, because they didn't want to, have dead bodies around them rotting, understandably. And the sharks picked up on that really quickly, and so they were, they found this boat, and they're like, hey, people are giving us free food. And yeah, that was what the plane thought was the disaster, because there was just bodies in the water being eaten by sharks and stuff like that occasionally. And so we get there, and we're like, holy cow. And we take like 5 people on board immediately, because they're they're so close to death. And in fact, I think we can only carry 4 at the time on the rib. And then when we went back to get the other person, they had already like expired. And I remember at that point, I was like, I'm out there with like baton and OC spray, which is like super hardcore pepper spray. I'm like, if there's no point in me carrying this, because if I was to use this on one of these people, it would put him into shock and kill them probably. But I'll never forget when we were loading the 4 people on board. They were like little teenagers. We have this thing called a J-bar davit, and the J-bar davit is basically, okay, we'll just drop some buoys here. The J-bar davit is it's a simple like mechanism to pick up things. So you can slide it or slew it across from the weather deck out, and then you can oops. What am I doing here? Sorry. So we'll put this buoy here, and then we'll drop another one here. Alright, so that's about 5 nautical mile spacing. That should give us coverage in the area. Well, I say coverage, but there's going to be little gaps, or there's going to be huge gaps actually, depending on the sea state. Actually, let's take a look. Let's see here, sonar. Oh, you know what? I need to pick a unit that has sonar. There we go. All right, I'm not going to look at this range and stuff, but we'll say it's sea state 4. That's what we're interested in. And the ambient noise is 84. So see if this increases over time. Yeah, so we picking up people from the J-bar davit from the rib below us, and the sharks just were frenetic, just going. You could see them in the water, like near the surface, just wanting people to fall in to eat them. It was just insane. And we have on the ships, they have like these shark watch gunners, so they just carry M14s. Back then they did. And even if you did a swim call, you'd have one person out there with a M14 to shoot at the sharks and stuff in case they popped up. Anyways, we didn't shoot at the sharks. We just were lucky that nobody fell in. And I'll never forget, like, this poor kid was probably like, I don't know, 13, 14 years old, begging me for water, and I couldn't give it to him because we had the IVs hooked up to them, so they were getting hydrated, and the fear was like giving them water or food directly would just put them into shock, because that could happen. And so they were getting hydrated through the IVs, but the IVs were like warm, but they were just so skinny, like skin and bones, that they were just shaking, being so cold, and asking for blankets. And I was like, man, your body temperature is actually really high. We can't do that. But luckily they recovered. And the saddest thing about that whole story is they wanted to go to Yemen, and they were kind of like halfway to Yemen where we found them. And we weren't in the business of, like, you know, towing people to where they wanted to go. So unfortunately, we were told to bring them back to Somalia. And you know, the whole crew felt really awful about it. So we were like everybody was donating their civilian clothes to them, so that they had clothes and stuff like that, and just basically giving them everything that we could. And yeah, when we turned them over, it was like Somalia back then didn't really have a government still. Like, I mean, there was a government, but it wasn't truly the people in charge. Like, I remember the Coast Guard boat, the Somali Coast Guard boat is what it said on the side, but it was a tugboat that had that stuff spray painted on it. There was guys walking around with RPGs with no uniforms and machine guns, and I was on the forward machine gun mount on the DDG, and I was just basically waiting for stuff to pop off. And they took command of that derelict tugboat, and they towed it with their derelict tugboat back to Somalia, unfortunately. Yep, that's just how it goes. But that was my first deployment, and I was like, man, the world is a pretty terrible place in some areas, and holy cow. But good thing is, at least we like to think that we saved some people, and that was, even though it was really sad, I mean, it's still positive. the most rewarding things in the Navy for me was when we did stuff like that, when we rescued people or if we were helping people that were in distress and that kind of thing. And blowing up stuff and shooting missiles and things is cool, but actually helping people is really great. All right, so what we got here is our buoy patterns all spit out there, and I think what we'll do is we'll wait till this. We can speed this up actually as the buoys are being dropped. These are the TAC air guys, so once this is dropped, I'm gonna want Black Cat closer to the this DDG that's got the air-to-air missile or surface-to-air missile in case stuff pops off. But I don't. These guys are getting really close to us, so we gotta watch out. All right, and this guy's got a VDS, so let's make him go active actually, and then. So the thermal layer depth is 321. I think these buoys are set to be above the layer. Oh, that's interesting. It says above the layer, but the depth itself is 350, and I know that the layer is being reported at 321, so I don't know what's going on there. I think that the sub will be in the layer. That's just going to be my guess. So I'll tell Nagatsuki to change this to above the layer. And then we're also going pretty fast, so I think the whole formation should slow down. Oh, you know what? Let's just do this instead. We'll relative positions, and Tsukumo goes there. Alright, so 5 nautical miles line abreast, good enough, I think. And then we'll get those guys in formation. So my idea is that we're, with 15 nautical miles from side to side, we'll probably be able to get a huge swath of this covered and hopefully detect the submarine. Oh man, this is just going to be a cluster F as these guys sail right through our formation change. It had to happen though. I didn't want to get into this area and not be in formation. So the briefing said not to have our radars going while we approach the exercise, so we're not going to do that. Once we get in the area though, we definitely will turn it on because I think the Ushio can fire a harpoon, so we're definitely interested in knowing if that's launched or not. This is a bad. Oh, they're like going right through here. Okay, maybe we'll avoid a collision, avoid the international incident. All right, I think this just might work out. He's passing astern. That's good. That's pretty funny. This all gonna work out. Nice. Oh, they're getting pretty close. Yeah, this is when the bridge watch team will be taking a shit ton of pictures. Taking pictures of sensors and stuff. Alright, oh, cool, the map changed. So yeah, that was another update, was that we have these themes now, so you can change it to auto, which is by default, or you can go to light and dark, depending on what you like to see, so we'll just leave it on light at the moment. And I think we got to slow down to a third. Oh. Look at that. Okay, so sub's going 15 knots. Wow, that's fast. And we detected him at least 3 nautical miles, 3.5. As okay. And he's just loitering now, so, and that is a hostile submarine. So we'll, oh, we just lost contact, okay. Is that the same one? That's 10. It's changing a speed from 10 to 15, it seems, and up and down. Okay. What's the range to that guy? 16 nautical miles, alright. So the SAU class subs, I think their torpedoes are like 3 point something nautical miles, and then the Ushio is a little bit more dangerous, is 8 nautical miles, so it's about the same as a Mark 46 over the side. I'm curious to see what this guy is. So I just can't tell. We'll find out soon, right? I think in the unit description, this doesn't have MAD, but I wonder if it's just not in this description and it actually does, because that should have MAD. Okay, so you'll see I want to drop the sonobuoy kind of close in front of the submarine to get detection as he's going towards it and then as he's fading away. But he keeps kind of zigzagging here, so I'm not sure. I'm dropping this one relatively close because I really want to know quickly what this thing is. Oh, there's 2 subs. Oh, man. Oh, this is working out really well for us, actually. So, we'll see what this guy turns out to be. We do want to make sure we know what these guys are, because if you can imagine, the Soviets here are observing our exercise. Like if they had a submarine observing our exercise in the exercise area, we don't want to accidentally shoot at it. So we'll have to make sure that we're IDing this thing with passive sonar, and then we'll go and kill it. This guy's still kind of sprinting along at 10. He's cruising at 3. Oh, now this guy's really sprinting. I can see the dB increase there and go down. Alright, well, don't know what's what, but these are hostile, so we're going to go ahead and go astern. We're going to kill the closest one first. This guy's got 4 Mark 46s. Oh, actually, you know, maybe we can try to use one of the, yes, yeah, let's use one of these guys first. Alright, we'll use the Neptune on one, and then maybe we'll use the dash on the other. So the Neptune, we'll have him go take the further one, so the dash has a shorter flight. Look at that thing. That's really cool. It is just amazing that they were using this sort of tech back then. Wonder if now it might be revisited. Well, you know what? I think there's just more multi-use out of a helicopter. You know, we can not only drop torpedoes on a submarine, but you can fire Hellfires. The modern ones now fire Hellfires at small boats, have long-range radar sensors, and in the very basic, you can deliver mail, right? So, yeah, maybe that's why. That is super cool, though. Okay, so we'll have him fly out, what, 12 nautical miles? Certainly can handle that. This guy, we can have use the Mark 46 on this dude. Oh, look at that. That's really cool. Nice. Man, this radar looks humongous. Yeah, love the new aircraft. I hope we get more planes. I love that. Okay, so that's the Ushio. And this guy must be the Arashio, which is the Asashio class submarine. Okay, here we go. This guy should be dropping soon, I think. Very cool. Alright, let's get our little drone in the fight. This crazy looking thing, look at that. Going 80 knots, so it is significantly slower than a helicopter. Alright, cool. So, I think that's the Asashio, which is the Arashio. The unit is the Arashio. Get myself thrown all in a loop. Okay. Yeah, 3.2, and the other guy I think is a anti-sub. Yeah. Okay. So 3.2 nautical miles. We're very safe. We are more worried about the Ushio. Oh. Now we're not worried about the Ushio. Oh, that's a gnarly hit. I'm just gonna want to quickly kill this though, because Ushio's getting still got some miles to go, but 8 nautical mile weapons versus mine. Just want to keep our buffer. This guy, we're not too worried about it. We can get really close. I'll fly him behind the Arashio, and then we'll drop a torpedo, and then hopefully that's it. And these guys are pretty close still. Like, what the heck are they doing? No, they're just going about their merry way. Okay. Oh, dropped that torpedo, but that sub is now dead, so okay. We wasted one. Oh well. Man, we got really lucky with those buoys, just picking up both of them pretty quickly. I'm assuming that's all there is. I don't know if there's surprise Soviet sub or something. So this mission is random, so if you were to play it, I think, at least in the description, it said that the subs would spawn in different locations. Let's just make sure we've got... Yeah, we still have connection, okay. I'm more worried about these fighter jets coming towards this guy. Maybe pull him back a little bit, I guess. Oh, we did lose contact. Okay, man. Let's drop a buoy somewhere right on this guy. Okay, there he is. Dropped him behind. We'll drop one up ahead. And we'll wait till we have... Well, that was cool. Oh, that's awesome. You see the splash from the buoy? Really neat. Yeah, there's something about seeing the 3D game world that I really like about Sea Power, not just... you know, some other games is strictly like a map thing, and it's not for me. Okay, so let's take a look at everything that's going on. No surprises. Yeah, that guy's still far away. We have the TAC air over here, and then we've got this SAG behind us. How close are they? They are pretty close, I think. 5 nautical miles. Okay. Alright. And the drone. So let's get the drone. Go fire our torpedo. This will be cool. Okay, and then we can tell him, yeah, he's going to automatically return to base. Alright, cool. Alright. So, yeah, I don't know if there's other submarines. We'll hopefully pick it up as we sweep through. This guy is gonna be dead. Such a lightweight submarine that one of these is just gonna kill him. Let's see how this goes. There he is. Hello. Your delivery has arrived. Oh, right up the stern. Look at that. Boom. Catastrophic damage. Propulsion's out. It's going to be heavy flooding for him. Okay, cool. So this guy's RTBing. Skinny looking thing. So I think at the moment this thing has not been added to the US ships. I think you can edit files or something to get it in there, but eventually it'll just be a part of those Fram destroyers. All right. Oh. So with the flags here, this says Bonsai, Bravo Alpha November, Zulu Alpha India, and then you'll notice that this is not the correct flag, but they have to have it like that because some countries, I think they censor that, so there would be some issues. The Rising Sun flag should be the flag that they fly, but there are, that was the flag for a lot of terrible atrocities in a lot of countries, so yeah, they've just gone with this flag. I think right now there's a mod out on the workshop, so if you really want the Rising Sun flag, you can get that mod and it'll change it. I don't particularly care. I mean, it looks fine. But yeah, if you're a stickler for the historical accuracy, it should be the Rising Sun flag. Yeah, models are really cool. Love it. Looks really good. So they're destroyers and stuff. Like, we'll look at these other guys. These are kind of just purpose for ASW, and we only have one DDG here. I think numbers-wise, they didn't have a lot of guided missile destroyers at the time, and so there's like 1 or 2 that would be in a formation, then a lot of other specific like anti-submarine destroyers or helicopter carrying destroyers, that kind of stuff, all working together. See how Yashio is coming to the surface? Yeah. Oh, she's about to die. Oh, yeah, let's maybe we can get lucky and test a mad hit. See if the mad stuff's working. If anything, she'll spot the oil slick. Curious if we'll even get like a radar hit if it comes to the surface momentarily. Where are you at, submarine? Flew right over her. Nothing. I really like that these planes now loiter around in the spot you left them at. I think when the game first came out, you'd have jets like go fly off into nothing. Oh shoot! What is this? Flash, flash, flash. Commander, we are receiving indications and warnings that the USSR believes we have attacked and sunk one of their submarines operating in the area observing our exercises. USSR believes this was a deliberate attack and is preparing to attack set general quarters. Oh boy. This is not good because I think our forces are like, let's pause this, are really close to them right now. Oh my god. Jeez. They're within visual range. Oh, crap. Oh, boy. What am I going to do here? I think Cashin is the most deadly. Yeah. But these guys even have surface torpedoes, don't they? Oh, anti-submarine. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. 8.6 nautical miles. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. The Grisha, what about you? I think you don't have anything too dangerous. 4 nautical miles. Alright, not worried about that. That's another anti-sub torpedo. Okay. 4 nautical or 8 nautical miles for that, but you are 9 nautical miles out. So, okay, I think. Oh, we got to tackle this Cashin immediately, and we also need to get the Petcha out of order. Crap. Okay, there we go. This is just going to be a close-in brawl. Okay. Okay, that's let's salvo 2 at this guy. Yeah, we're already getting hit. Yep. Petcha's firing. Okay, good. Oh, now they're firing off their missiles. We just need to kill this one really quickly and... Okay, good. And then we need to make sure Black Cat gets the heck out of there. But she's gonna be in SAM range too. This is just mental. My god. This is just crazy. Oh man. We need to get this guy knocked out quickly. Okay. Alright, looks like her guns have been silenced. Salvo 2 here. Whoa, those chaff effects look really neat. I think that was new, yeah. Okay, let's salvo 2 at this guy. This Petcha is the one that's being a pain right now. Let's come on, let's go faster. We need to get this SM-1 launcher going. Fire at this guy, just silence him already. So it should come about, and then should see this come to life. Yep, there it goes. Cool. We'll watch this target off in the distance there. Hopefully take fire and get hit. And we'll finish off that Grisha, who's got an 8 nautical mile SAM system that we need to worry about. Oh, we also need to watch out for this guy here. Kill this thing. Speed up. Get out of there. Okay, Petcha's hit. Hopefully we can kill this guy rapidly. Please, please, please. Okay, good. I don't want him to be shot down, please. Oh no. Missiles have been fired. Oh. Oh no. Oh damn. Well, he got shot down, but it was just too late, unfortunately. What a freaking brawl. My goodness. Are you firing? Okay. Well, now we can go back to doing that. I thought there was 2 fighters. Alright, I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. Petya doesn't appear to be firing anymore, so I'm just going to worry about this Grisha, who looks perfectly fine. Okay, Kashin finally has gone down. Petya's going to go down. Yep. There we go. My goodness. Alright, and then we'll cease fire, and then we'll fire a missile at Grisha. Awesome. I think we're done. Oh, missiles coming up. Oh, it's been spoofed. Oh, she's firing missiles at this guy, isn't she? Okay, let's salvo 2. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, those were defeated. Nice. Okay, 1 hit. Oh, he's fired a couple more. Alright, this is going to be detected soon. There's some missiles that Grisha had fired at Nagatsuki here that will be detected at like the last moment, I think. Alright, I think that's it. Yes. Oh man. Commander, all USSR forces in your immediate vicinity are eliminated. Proceed southeast towards home at best speed. Await further orders. Exit mission. Yes. That was pretty crazy. My gosh. Oh, that was just incredible, like, ranges that we, Is this guy gonna shut down, or what's going on? Did he just land? Alright, well, anyways. That was ridiculous. Let's make sure we get our formation back. Yeah, that was wild. We were so close to these guys, like within 8 nautical miles. Some of those units, I think, were 5 or 6 nautical miles from each other. That was just nuts. Wow. That was really fun, though. I mean, I was not expecting that turn. We got really lucky here with the way that the submarines were detected. I was thinking that we'd kill one and then we'd kill the other, but I guess they're just there in the world, so you can find both of them at the same time like we did, or relatively close to each other. Oh, okay, that is going away. That's good. Man, wow, that was really neat to be able to brawl like that so close to each other. Was just nuts. Glad we were able to sink the Kashin first there. That was very important. Otherwise, if this guy would have gone down, we would have been pretty hosed. Look at this guy's been peppered with some holes too, actually. Yeah, some hits there, hits there, hits there. Oh, this one's got a hit on the radar there. Let's see yeah, whatever this thing got hit with, I don't know what that is. Wow. What is did this guy get hit at all? We did take some fire from that Grisha on this guy, but They must have. It almost looked like the explosions happened off really in close, and that was it. And it looks like she's unscathed. Yeah, no damage. And then Nagatsumo, I think, sat out everything because they were doing air ops. Damage control, no damage, yep. And I don't visually see any. Well, yeah, that was a great look at some of the new units that the game developers have added for the Japanese in Sea Power. And looking forward to some more. I mean, it's really great to have new toys to play with. And I especially like having more countries in just because it allows just for greater variety of scenarios. It's not always going to be NATO on Warsaw Pact or whatever. I especially want to see more Asian countries and fleshed out so that there can be smaller regional conflicts that have plausibility in scenario creation. So that'll be really great. I think the next ones that are coming there'll be some Chinese units, which is really welcome. That'll be really neat to see what the mission creators come up with. And speaking of that, iBlank is a great mission creator, so if you want to try this mission out, go right ahead, and I'll have this linked in the description below, so you can go check it out and just automatically start playing with the new units that came out. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. See you next one. Bye!